We just had a hot day in the crypto market. Bitcoin price touched 73,000 and then dropped all the way down towards 68,000. That was a huge drop. But the panic during that time was so high and heavy, unless you are really educated about what's happening in the market. If you do look at this volatility, you can see that the previous resistance has been turning into a support, at least on a micro level. But what's more attractive here is that the dominance was dropping while all that was happening. Altcoin market is still holding on pretty strong. Think about that for a moment. Yes, you had a long wick, but you came back up. So this clearly shows you which direction the money is flowing. And one of the key things you have to understand is when XRP as an asset is not dropping 10-20% a day when Bitcoin is doing all this volatility, we are in a bull market. We are in a bull market. We got that breakout, retest, and a bounce. We're still holding on to that. Most likely scenario is going to be the retest of this top. We come back down here, test that, which would be somewhat like 0.65. So after that, we should see some volatility. Welcome to the Scientific Investor family, where the normal retail guys get learn how to become the next top 10% of this world. See, some of these assets are doing extremely well. ICEDRX has done 100%. NEA protocol has already done another 100% for this week. So we had the target, it's going through all the targets, short-term targets, all of them are hit. Medium-term targets, we're getting close to the target too. So the price action has been showing all of this. And if you doubt about what's happening in the Bitcoin, we talked about this a few days back, about the breakout, about what's the potential to the upside. Remember, that was February 27. Now it's been just 2 weeks. And here we are already touching those levels. So if you're on TradingView, it shows you came to 72,680. But when you're on Binance, you actually get to see like, okay, we touched 73,000. Even though it's a short movement, a micro leg, we did touch that. So now we are at a point where we do understand the fact that yes, it's all volatile, but it's going through the measured moves. The market is doing something which rhymes. If that's the history which we have seen, and this was the average which I plotted and said, guys, okay, watch, maybe it's going to be 40, maybe it's going to be 46, but somewhat close to this range. And we came to that range. And that's the impact of TA. Right? It kind of gives you an idea of which direction we are going and what we may actually look for in the market. So all of this actually led you to where we are now. So we had this thought process, it was completed. We had the micro thought process, it's completed. Right now, SI family is getting advantage of all these calls because it's on the right time. So you know where the opportunity is before it actually pops. This was literally a correction to the downside and then a bounce off. If you were in the market, you're already up, what? Close to 200% for the month. So the market is showing you a lot of opportunities. It's just mixed inside the volatility. And to take benefit of that, look at the price structure. Easy thing. If the price is moving higher, don't look for this volatility, look for the trend. That matters a lot. So if your trend is still looking like this, then yeah, these are all just micro heartbeats of the market. It's going to be volatile because the market consists of millions of individuals and a lot of whales who would do all these manipulation to take benefit of the retail. So while you're in that, you also have to understand market is now showing you something like this, an exponential move here. So are we looking for something like this? Because usually before the market drops, what these whales do is that they kind of create a lot of volatility for sure. And then there used to be a burst before you then come back down. So where can this go? 78, 76, 80, I don't know. But there can be a pop like that. Now, why am I saying that? When you go on a daily chart, this is what you're watching. Yeah, we got an inverted hammer, which is a negative signal for the market. That's the daily close. That signals a lot of what we have been talking with this candle, and all the trend formation with respect to the price and the RSI. Those are still valid. Now, yes, this is not a hype. This is just a reality. This is just what you can see in the charts. Now, what's good or great for us is that even assets like XRP, which used to be super slow, is respecting very well with the market. You had this breakout, you're literally retesting that and bouncing. Now you're trying to trend higher. So on a micro level, when you do look at XRP, this is what you're looking at: the 1, the 2, the 3. Usually you come back down to this 2, and then start the next 1, 2, 3. That's a micro movement, so it's going to be volatile unless you're trading that signal with super leverage. You're really not looking for those. Yeah, you know that it's going to come in the market, but it's not going to hurt you. It's just noise of the market. Because what you are looking at is, can we enter here on the overbought zone on a 3-day chart? Can we enter there on a weekly? All of these matters because your direction right now is to the upside. Say, if the weekly is showing you to the upside and the weekly is showing you a MACD cross on this positive zone, don't go against it. Because the market kind of shows you the path. If the market suggests you, okay, yeah, I can be bouncing from this moving average, great. But right now, what you're watching is that the support is being tested again and again and again. So we definitely want to see whether we're going to break to the downside or we're going to bounce off, because that matters a lot. Now, you can zoom a little bit out, look for the possibility here, because if we do break this to the downside, you're going to see a lot of altcoins popping. And when I say popping, some would actually do 100% day. Even though the dominance would be dropping like 1%, you will see 100% moves in a lot of different altcoins. And it's not new. We have seen those big numbers. Yes, mostly in the medium, small cap kind of things. Earlier today, we actually saw AMP doing a big number, right? So if you are watching for those, yeah, it's one out of few. But when you do look for a 20, 30, 40% moves, there are a lot of them. It's going to be comparatively easier to find those and then repeat that process, compound your gains. It's going to reflect on your portfolio for sure, because you have a lot of these opportunities out there which are breaking through to the upside, making you guys rich, wealthy, and ultra wealthy if you are consistent and disciplined. You cannot literally compromise on discipline. There is nothing else which you can actually put instead of discipline. Yes, you need patience for sure, but from this moment, at least, discipline overweighs patience. At this point, when you're looking at the total altcoin segment, you should also keep in mind that, yeah, we've been going higher. We do have some divergence on a daily, so there should be some opportunity for buying the dip. But as of now, on a 3-day, you're still trending to the upside. On a weekly, you're still trending to the upside. You haven't started a corrective leg to the downside. And along with that, you are actually watching for the monthly. I mean, we have another 3 weeks for sure. I agree on that. But the monthly is just entering the zone. We know what we have seen historically when we do these. And if we are going to get something like that, it's going to be bigger than the last candle. There's going to be a lot of volatility. So this month, the next 20 days, towards next 45 days is going to be really great, because If you do see the altcoin market breaking through the all-time highs, what would you see in the altcoins? It's simple. Some of them are going to go crazy, nuts, big numbers. So you want to make sure you understand the short-term direction of the market. Whichever direction the market shows you, it doesn't matter what is being put out there in the YouTube or Twitter, but the numbers are directed by the market. So you literally have to go into the market and look at what the market is suggesting you, not only in a micro move, but also on a macro horizon. You need to look for a daily, 3-day, weekly, because the moment you're on a weekly chart here on the Bitcoin dominance, you do understand the fact that we are trapped in this region. If we break this to the upside, yeah, here he goes. If not, we'll get a consolidation, we'll get a correction, we'll get a move down. Now, I would align more with that because the strength is reducing substantially. That's one key part. Then on the monthly, you'll have to agree on the fact that we're kind of making a double top possibility on the Bitcoin dominance. And as we go back in history on a monthly, we understand that certainly this range has been the top for the strength on the dominance. So historically speaking, by this time, you slowly go back down. So if we are to do that, last time we did that phase, there was a lot of momentum in the altcoins. So if we are about to watch that from here, you're going to see a few weeks to a few months of altcoin burst, depending upon which segment you're in. Because payments won't be performing all the way. It would be taken from smart contracts. It will go into gaming. It will go into infrastructure. So you'll still see the altcoin market performing well, because when one is consolidating, some are popping. So you get to use them to compound your gains. That creates enormous opportunity without picking these big poppers and just being disciplined. So if you are looking for that kind of information to excel in this market, join the 1,000+ members in the SI family, where they're killing it with all these information. Because when you are here, think about this. There are people on Twitter, on YouTube with hundreds of thousands of followers saying, watch, it's going to go down. At this point, we told, no, this is most likely a retest and we may bounce, because the market usually goes against the crowd. So if you're following the crowd, maybe that's not the right direction to go. So always think about that, and here you get an extended opportunity to go through your portfolio, and I'll look at it. And I'll say, okay, if I like it, I'll like, okay, you have a great portfolio. If not, I would say, okay, if your risk tolerance is high and your portfolio doesn't have much of a risk, I would be open. And even if it's the opposite, you don't have a lot of risk tolerance and your portfolio is like SIRF, just the meme coins, I would be open, I'd be frank. So in that way, you kind of get to use 8 years of trading and investing experience in your portfolio, so that next few months, you're going to make it big. So guys, if you received value and you haven't smashed that like button yet, I would say consider doing that. And if you want to join the SI family, use the link in the description below in YouTube or in the bio on Twitter to reach out to me. I'll meet you guys on the next video. Bye for now.